It's the music recording network. Out of the shower to the bedroom, slip on something fresh. From the bedroom to the studio, to react to the best. If your day is blown, we crank to the morn. Make sure your sub is on while we playing your song. And it's gonna be on. We rock 3 channels up here on this YouTube stream, and we always let our subscribers know that they are supreme. Hey, stand by, cause we so fly. React to the beat, cause I'm that guy to move you all night long. Why, I tell you what's happening in this song. Music make me crazy, baby, do it for me louder. Viewers know my cross keep on bumping with the song. I'ma make you sweat until they turn the house lights on. After party at the Music Recording Network.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? I've been trying to figure out, how did Trump actually beat Harris? And everybody around me is pushing for Harris, and nobody is telling me what she stands for and all this stuff, but they pushing for Harris and not Trump. Oh, Trump is this, Trump is that, whatever. So going by the people that's around me, I'm thinking the whole world thinking this, right? Me personally, I'm purple. I guess that's how you say it. Meaning I'm 50-50. I don't do politics. I don't understand politics. So I decided to learn. I am learning politics. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm learning. So I started watching this video as a YouTube reactor, and I would just want to explain to a lot of my friends, I'm assuming the Democrat Party, my friends, right? How to figure out what you should believe in. So if you're Democrat, please leave me a comment. Maybe I'm watching the wrong videos. So help me out. That's what I'm telling both sides. Whatever theory or whatever you believe in, help me out. So I wanted to play this video right here because how Trump defeated Harris for president. Key election campaign moments. The key election campaign moments. How did one lose and how did one win? How this game is played. You know, any game, you got to figure out how it's played before you start playing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm researching and figuring out things. So y'all leave, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, leave me a comment, let me know what's going down, and let's check this video out. Here we go, y'all. Check this out.
Hey, look what happened. Is this crazy?
Donald Trump has been elected to a second term as president, defeating a resurgent Democratic nominee in Vice President Kamala Harris.
People are unhappy with the direction of the country, and they wanted a change. They wanted
That's
something
true.
different, and Trump was that something different.
Trump, who was nearly cast aside by his own party following the January 6th Capitol riot, is the first felon to become president-elect.
Guilty
first
on
felon.
all 34 felony counts.
What we saw in the last 4 years is probably the groundwork and execution of the greatest political comeback in American history.
According to what I was hearing, because I'm middle, he doesn't stand a chance to win because he's a felon. How they gonna put a felon in the White House? This is the stuff I was hearing, you know.
Here are the moments that define Trump's return to the White House.
America's comeback starts right now.
I remember being at Trump's third campaign announcement. There were virtually no sitting Republicans attending. His own children declined to attend. He really had been abandoned and left for dead.
Many Republican lawmakers had turned to other candidates just 7 days after the GOP's lackluster showing in the 2022 midterm elections. But then,
Probably the single most important event in the Republican primary was Trump's first indictment.
Trump was indicted 4 times after leaving office. Prosecutors accused the president of trying to overturn the 2020 election, knowingly holding on to classified documents and paying off a porn star to benefit his campaign.
Whoa.
Virtually all of his competitors in the Republican primary defended him.
They have weaponized and put politics in the Department of Justice.
It was really a very odd thing, you know. If you're a political candidate and you're criminally indicted, most people would say that's not a good thing for your campaign. But because almost none of his political opponents wanted to capitalize on that fact, each indictment became more and more strengthening to Trump's candidacy.
Trump's campaign capitalized on his legal woes as a fundraising opportunity, blasting emails that accused the Department of Justice of election interference. In late May, when Trump was convicted in New York State court of 34 counts of falsifying records to cover up hush money payments, his campaign raked in a record $34.8 million in small dollar donations.
He had this residual goodwill with the vast majority of Republican voters. Many of them believed his false claim that the election was stolen, so they saw him as a sort of incumbent.
On the campaign trail, Trump ramped up his incendiary rhetoric.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. They're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals. We don't need another low IQ person.
He has never been interested in calls from even many Republicans to tone it down or to speak in more moderate terms. Trump believes that this is rhetoric that appeals to his voters.
When I say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy.
The Trump campaign has really honed in on two issues: immigration and the economy. I remember being in Michigan and Wisconsin, and I'd ask people at his rallies, what's the most important issue to you? And they would say, the border. Trump was very effective in getting that message across to voters and making them fear migrants.
Y'all put in the comments also, how do you feel about the border control? Or what is the number one main problem or issue that the United States need to fix or stand on first? That's what I want to know.
Eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets.
Trump's previous campaigns were sort of marked by this sense of disarray and disorganization. The ground game, as we call it, where they go and knock on doors and hand out pamphlets and physically go out there and get teams moving. It always paled in comparison to Democrats.
An important factor in Trump's political success in 2024 was that he ran a much more professionalized and strategic campaign.
What they wanted to do was focus on the tiny group of undecided voters. They call them persuadables. And go to those people.
Food for everyone. Food for everyone.
Because that's really where the effort should be put, not just blindly knocking on people's doors and saying, hey, please vote for Donald Trump.
After the Republican primary, Trump's team laid the groundwork for a tough battle in November. The former president maintained a sizable lead in the polls over Joe Biden as voters grappled with the sitting president's age. And then, in late June,
if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
One of the most
Oh my
astonishing events to come out of this election was the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The next 2 weeks after that, the Trump campaign did something very unconventional for the Trump campaign, which was to lay low, because all the focus was on Joe Biden.
Then, out of the blue, literally came the assassin's bullet, which came within a fraction of an inch of ending his life.
A lot of people think that was fake. A lot of people think it was staged. And I'm just telling you what my ears was hearing from people. Oh, that's bull. He just did that publicity stunt.
Days after the assassination attempt, Trump made a triumphant comeback at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
You will not take this man down.
So the Trump campaign, they decided they were going to go all in on this strategy of juicing their base, driving up turnout from unexpected and new parts of the electorate.
Obviously, everything changed once Vice President Harris was the nominee.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Not only was there enormous enthusiasm suddenly on the Democratic side, something that we had not seen for Joe Biden, but also the Trump campaign, which had been so disciplined up until this point, was so worried that Trump would hurt his advantage. He was angry. He went off message and he started to say things in the early days that they did not want him saying.
And she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Trump scaled up his campaign appearances in a bid to counter Harris's rise. He adopted a busier schedule in battleground states.
With your auto industry, so goes Michigan. I mean, it's a big deal.
He was interviewed on podcasts and YouTube channels.
That's down and dirty, right? Yeah.
He campaigned alongside billionaire Elon Musk.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take
Elon
In
Musk.
the final stretch before Election Day, Trump stuck with his off-the-cuff brand of politics.
Never touched by a human hand. Nice and clean.
And
Nice and
continued
clean.
to attack Harris on one of her key liabilities.
As the so-called border czar, the person in charge of our border, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦.
Immigration has been his signature issue.
Oh, wait a minute. I just learned something. So Kamala Harris, I'm just going to call Harris, as vice president, her job is to be over top of the border control. Is that what I'm hearing? I'm learning. I'm just learning, y'all.
Stretch before Election Day, Trump stuck with his off-the-cuff brand of politics.
Never touched by a human hand. Nice and clean.
And continued to attack Harris on one of her key liabilities.
As the so-called border czar, the person in charge of our border, 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦.
Immigration has been his signature issue. We've seen more and more Americans come around to Trump's point of view on the issue of the border. People are fed up. They feel that nothing's been done, that the border is in chaos, and that tough action is needed to address it.
As president, Trump has proposed sweeping tariffs on foreign imports, hardening U.S. borders, and deporting millions of immigrants living in the country illegally.
This is really an important moment definitely for Democrats, but for the country in general. Despite all these things that normally would overshadow a candidacy, in his case, propped him up and got him through to victory again.
Kamala Harris also did him some favors by not really distinguishing herself from the administration she was a part of. Once he was able to remind people that she was essentially the incumbent, that she was part of a status quo that people didn't like, and that he represented a departure from that status quo, he was able to successfully convince people that if they wanted something different, he was that change.
Wow. Okay, I got one more video that I want to play for you guys that while I was doing my research. And one of the things that I'm noticing is, and it's difficult to find, what did she stand on? Now, is she black? Does she have some black race in her? Because I heard a couple of people say that, well, she's black. A lot of people tell me you should vote for a black woman, or it'd be real cool to have a woman as president. We never had a woman before. That'll make history. Is that a reason to vote for somebody? I'm just saying, I don't think that's a good reason to vote for somebody for the color of their skin, or if they male or female. I don't think that is a strong enough reason for somebody to run the country I live in. That's just me. I don't know. You know, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. All right, this one is why Elon Musk, I ain't got my glasses on, why Elon Musk and his tech allies want Trump to win now. So I clicked on this video right here, and this is what this video said. Check this out.
In the final weeks of the presidential election, Elon Musk has become one of former President Donald Trump's most powerful allies.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm dog gothic MAGA.
It's a stark change from 2015, when he told Vanity Fair that Trump winning the nomination,
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
While Vice President Kamala Harris has broad support in Silicon Valley, Musk is part of a small group of tech leaders and investors that have become more supportive of Trump over the last 8 years. As they see it, Trump's Republican Party is
more welcoming of bold ideas and what we call kind of American dynamism.
I think if these big names are coming out in support of Donald Trump, but also opening their pocketbooks, that could have lasting effects on any election.
Here's the philosophy, policies, and relationships behind the shift, and what it means for Silicon Valley and the election. To understand the move to the right, you have to start here with some tech leaders that were part of a group known as the PayPal Mafia. It's a collection of former employees and founders of PayPal, many of which have gone on to build some of tech's most influential companies.
Wow. I'm sorry, yep. YouTube, wow. All these people were part of PayPal. And of course, Tesla, golly. They went on to form these...
known as the PayPal Mafia.
The PayPal
It's a collection
Mafia.
of former employees and founders of PayPal, many of which have gone on to build some of tech's most influential companies.
They're very well connected in the Valley. These are people that are considered thought leaders in the tech space.
This group varies on politics. Several lean Democratic, like Reid Hoffman, one of Harris's biggest supporters this year.
She, growing up through California, saw all the positives about entrepreneurship and technology.
But Peter Thiel has long been an unorthodox voice in Silicon Valley. He has called himself a conservative libertarian and was close with controversial blogger Curtis Yarvin, who refers to himself as a neo-monarchist.
You'll notice that everything you have that works was made in a monarchy or by a monarchy or both. So, for example, this iPhone. This iPhone was produced by Apple, which is a monarchy. That is, it's a corporation.
Core to both Yarvin and Thiel's politics is a conviction that political and economic systems are bloated, inefficient, and in need of radical reform.
I still think there is a lot that one could do by deregulating, having a less severely regulated economy.
The PayPal Mafia's circle of influence steadily expanded, connecting them with other leaders in the sector. One of those connections was 𝗟𝗜𝗡𝗞𝗦, a venture capitalist who worked on Hyperloop with Musk.
I think this is a tech-centered, centrist movement, and we're techno-optimists.
During the Obama administration, Silicon Valley flourished, thanks in part to government support.
Every time I come to Silicon Valley, every time that I come to this region, I am excited about America's future.
People like President Obama really held up big tech as these bastions of innovation, of job creation, as these homegrown places that we should really celebrate.
𝗟𝗡𝗡 participated in tech roundtables and served on the Fulbright board in the Obama administration.
When I was working on Hyperloop, one of the first people I pitched it to was President Obama. Areas of support that President Obama gave towards innovation, it was great.
But the ground started to shift in 2016. Though many Silicon Valley leaders backed Hillary Clinton, Thiel stood apart from his colleagues as one of few to publicly endorse Trump.
I'm not a politician, but neither is Donald Trump.
So when Peter Thiel came out in support of Donald Trump, which was not really a popular thing to do, it kind of gave legitimacy to supporting Trump.
In the 2020 election, the communications and electronics sector, which includes many, but not all tech companies, donated a record amount of money to Democratic candidates and PACs.
Wow. Did y'all see that?
But at the same time, the electronics sector, which includes many, but...
Look at in all areas of whatever this graph is in 2024, well, that's been up there. But what, 04, 08, 12, 16, and 20. Anyway, everything is straight blue. Clear. That's clear.
Not all tech companies donated a record amount of money to Democratic candidates and PACs. But at the same time, Trump garnered more support from Silicon Valley leaders than he did in 2016, including his future vice presidential candidate, J.D. Vance. Vance previously worked with Thiel.
Tend to think that we should seize the institutions of the left and turn them against the left, right? We need like a de-Bathification program, but like a de-wokeification program in the United States.
And tension was growing between Musk and Democrats.
The more progressive wing of the party, people like Elizabeth Warren, sort of made him the face of corporate greed.
The world's richest freeloader evidently has a very thin skin.
Another pain point for Musk was a series of EV events held by the White House.
The Biden administration has been very pro-union, and Musk is famously anti-union. So when the White House would have these big EV summits, or Joe Biden would talk about the EV revolution, Elon was never mentioned.
Didn't mention Tesla once and praised GM and Ford for leading the EV revolution.
So
So you were pissed.
Does this sound maybe a little biased?
Biden's administration also cracked down on big tech and worked on regulations around crypto and AI.
There was a very anti-crypto stance, and that had a very negative impact on the industry. A lot of companies got fined and hurt.
Some of them feel like they can't get mergers done, or that these policies are overreaching and hurting innovation.
Other Biden administration policies 𝗗𝗢𝗡 said drove him to support Trump included the handling of Iran, fiscal policy, and what he sees as different attitudes about free speech.
The Democrats are talking about filtering people's ability to express themselves on the internet. And that's the opposite, the antithesis of what people on the more centrist conservative side believe in.
Did you hear that? So the Democrats want to censor what? Freedom of speech? That's in our Constitution. That's our right. Freedom of speech allows me to say whatever I feel on my YouTube channel. Freedom of speech. Now my ears are up, right? I'm freedom of speech now. I don't know. What do y'all think? You know, I'm asking you guys. So let's run that back one more time and see.
Included the handling of Iran, fiscal policy, and what he sees as different attitudes about free speech.
Free speech.
The Democrats are talking about filtering people's ability to express themselves on the internet. And that's the opposite, the antithesis of what people on the more centrist conservative side believe in.
Musk has expressed similar concerns.
Free speech is important. For a healthy democracy, it is important.
Still, in 2022, Musk expressed doubts about Trump. In July of that year, the Tesla CEO wrote on X, "I don't hate the man, but it's time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset." But behind the scenes, Musk was already donating to Republican causes and candidates.
We found that Musk has been setting up dark money vehicles to funnel his funds. One of them was Stephen Miller's organization and an ad campaign called Citizens for Sanity. These ads were considered controversial. They attacked Democratic candidates for being woke, for transgender policies, for illegal immigration. And for a while, who was behind these ads was a giant mystery. But we found out that he was behind that. In 2023, Musk was secretly behind Governor Ron DeSantis' run for presidential election, which makes this election cycle all the more fascinating because he's not only in support of Donald Trump this election cycle, who was not his first pick for president, but he created a super PAC in order to help his re-election chances.
As of October 28th, Musk had donated over $118 million to his America PAC. Donations to Trump have flowed in from multiple corners. In June, 𝗗𝗢𝗡 hosted a fundraiser with David Sachs. The event raised $12 million.
Wow.
I think everyone came away with the impression that he's a true patriot who loves America and loves Americans and believes in American exceptionalism.
In October, America PAC began offering $47 to those who referred registered voters to sign a petition supporting the First and Second Amendments. And Musk started speaking about a potential role in the Trump administration.
Assuming President Trump is willing, and I think he is, I intend to play a significant role in making government efficient.
Watching Elon become more politically engaged has been, I think, exhilarating for many of us because he is the greatest engineer ever, and he's one of the greatest entrepreneurs in human history.
Democrats are still overwhelmingly winning support from the communications and electronics sector. Tech leaders like Mark Cuban are also hitting the road on Harris's campaign, speaking against Trump.
And now his trade policies, particularly with tariffs, are basically just gibberish.
Harris has also brought back some of the support that the party lost under Biden. Venture capitalist Ben Horowitz, for example, posted on X that he would be donating to both campaigns after previously saying he would donate to Trump. But still, the shift among these prominent leaders could change the dynamics of the election. America PAC has become involved in Trump's campaigning.
They're door knocking, they are registering voters, they're getting people absentee ballots. That's a very meaningful part of the ground game for the Trump campaign, and especially in an election that is so close and in swing states that are so important.
Thiel, Vance, Trump, and Sachs did not respond to request for comment on this video.
Wow. All right. Elon Musk. I am a big fan of Elon Musk. I bought me a Tesla back in the day. I'm a fan of technology. I think that getting rid of the engine that's polluting the air and gas prices rising, I can just come home and plug up my phone and plug up my car, and I'm full tank for the rest of the day. So I really enjoy that. When Elon actually bought Twitter, there's a whole story behind that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm not going to get into it, but when Trump had, I guess, jokingly or whatever he said, whatever words he used, and told the people that you should go down there and protest at the White House, you let the Democrat people tell it. And they said that he said, go down there and storm the White House and we're going to kick the door in, whatever. I don't know what was said. I'm biased. I'm purple. But they shut down his account. And that's why Elon was mad. So how can he say something to the people to no, don't go down there, or go down there with more guns? Whatever you're going to say to the people. How could he say anything else to the people when they shut their account down? So that's why Elon, that's one of the main reasons, that's freedom of speech being taken away from us. Good point. Very good point. Because Trump was doing everything in his power. I don't know. I'm just telling you the stories. To stop people from going down there and doing all this crazy stuff. And that's how I got the story from the Republican side. The Democrat side, they don't even have a story. They just going by what's going on in the streets. You know, they saying that how dare you don't want to vote for somebody that said it's eating the dogs and eating the cats. You know, everybody heard that. But most of the people is telling me when they talk to me about different things, they talk about race first, or they try to explain to me in all the negative things that they're doing. I'm asking you, what are you going to do? What does the Democrat stand for? What are they going to do? How are they going to help this country? And none of them can tell me. So I'm doing this video, hoping that somebody on the Democratic side can break it down to me. Y'all take a light, take a slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.